morning, beloveds. So, I finally have gone back to the gym. It's been almost a month. I think we may have done one or two. No, I don't know what we did. Maybe one or two in December, but definitely not the last three. Nobody wants to nobody wants to go to the gym on Christmas. He has small children. I was not going to do that. He was out of town the week before, and then we were out of town for New Year's. So, yeah. So, went to the gym. It'll be interesting to see how I feel tonight, this afternoon, afterwards. But it was good to be back in the gym. It is January 8th. Our title is Variety. The first quote is, "Whosoever will, let them take the water of life freely." And that is Revelations 22:17. Then the second quote is, "Nature demands the change in order that we may advance." And that is Science of Mind, page 385. Someone once said that the only thing we may be certain of is change. Can you imagine doing the same thing, seeing the same people, hearing the same sounds, or eating the same food each day of the week? Such a way of life would be so rigid, so uninteresting, so unstimulating that we would have little opportunity to grow mentally or spiritually. Variety is necessary for us to grow in every area of our life, yet is the one thing we tend to resist the most. Change is inevitable, but we can choose how we react to it. We can resist change and create stress and fear within ourselves, or we can joyfully accept change, work with it, choose to participate in it, and take conscious control of our lives. For our own personal growth, mentally and spiritually, we must face change with trust and faith. Like cleaning a closet, we let go of old things we no longer use in order to have a place for new things. The same is true with people and circumstances in our lives. As we grow in consciousness, we need to let people and circumstances that are no longer mutually beneficial move out of our lives for our highest good and theirs, and make room for the good that is on its way. I recognize that the power behind form is changeless. I now direct change in my life in a positive manner so that I may experience a higher and greater good. I stop resisting new situations and relationships and enjoy the variety of experience I now attract to myself. I rejoice in the varied opportunities that contribute to my growth and awareness of spirit. And that is M.M. Marilyn Mooney. So it's partly about variety and partly about change. And that's the truth. The power back of change is changeless, but change happens. And when we are willing to cooperate with it, it's, I almost want to say easier, but not necessarily. But it is less painful, and it is less dramatic, and it is less stressful when we cooperate with it. Change is what it is. If you look back at a picture of yourself now, if you look at a picture of yourself now and then look back at a picture of yourself 10 years ago, you are literally a completely different person. Every single cell in your body has changed over. And as we grow and as we change, then the people in our lives grow and change. And sometimes we grow together and sometimes we grow apart. And it is beneficial to both us and them if we have grown apart to let them go. And let them continue growing along their paths. It is when we fight change that we create, stress and pain and all kinds of, just unnecessary nonsense. One of my favorite definitions of sin is self-inflicted nonsense, and resisting change is part of that. You watch trees every fall let go of all of their leaves. You watch flowers, plants bloom, and then they drop those flowers. Because that's how they create new. And how can we be any less? when we are, and I get it, change isn't always fun. People move out of our lives and we miss them, but it wasn't serving them or us for them to be in our lives anymore. And so, yeah, but when we let go of that old stuff, then it allows new stuff and new people to move in. And that's one of those things. You got to be willing to let some stuff go to make room for new. Otherwise, you're going to get crowded out of your own life. Yeah. All right, Marilyn. I don't know that I've done her justice, but whosoever will, let them take the water of life freely. Revelations is interesting. I encourage you, if you've never read it, go read it. Yeah. Can you imagine doing the same thing, seeing the same people, hearing the same sounds, eating the same food each day of every week? That's one of those things that I noticed that I'm not a foodie. Like, if you fed me the same thing every day, I probably wouldn't notice. I'm not a foodie. But there are other times where, there are other things like music. I can listen to the same song a couple of times in a row, and then I want to hear what everything else that the artist has done. And then I was like, oh, well, show me something, show me something completely different. I love a variety of music. You couldn't pin my taste in music down. I love to read a variety of books. If I had to read the same book every day, I think I'd go mad. So, because I want to learn new things. But I was also a military brat. And you kind of get good at change and letting stuff go. And then sometimes there are some things that as a military brat, you get rigid and hold on to. Books are my real sticking point. It's hard for me to let go of a book. I tell people, don't loan me a book. Just tell me the book and I'll go buy a copy, or I'll borrow a copy, from the library or something. Don't ever loan me a book. You might never get it back. And I have a real hard time loaning out my books. So, cause it's then I worry about, is it ever coming back? And that's a brat thing. That's a brat thing. Too many times I gave up books that I really wish I hadn't. So there's one of those areas where I can definitely use some work. But other things, I get it. People come and go. And it's when you're ready to walk out of my life, then I will wish you well. And if you choose to walk back in, I will welcome you back. So, I don't hold on to people. I don't hold on to people, which can make me a difficult friend. Because then sometimes I won't notice that I hadn't heard from you in a while. And I'm like, oh, hey, I should probably check on that person. But variety. Yeah. Change. Something to think about, especially since I was in a cleaning mood yesterday. All right. What is the mission today? Because I've just now started to ruminate, and you don't need to hear that. That's not what you come here for. Okay, so she's got this line. We can resist change and create stress and fear within ourselves, or we can joyfully accept change, work with it, choose to participate in it, and take conscious control of our lives. All right, so the mission today, should we choose to accept it? You may not be ready to joyfully accept change, but the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to participate in the change. Because when we participate in the change, then we get to take, as she said, conscious control of our life. We also get to have some say in how the change happens. If you are resisting it, the change is going to happen whether you like it or not. But if you are willing to participate in it, willing to be a part of that change, then you get to take conscious direction in your change. All right. So that's the mission today. I'm not asking you to be joyful about it. I'm just asking you to participate in it. All right. Take conscious direction in your change. And you will find that the fear and the stress is less. I'm not going to say it's not going to happen, but it will be less. The more you are consciously making the decisions on where the change is going, I believe you will be more content and happier, and it will make the change easier. All right, so that's the mission today. The second mission is the same mission that I always give you, which is to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself, whatever it looks like. Big, small, does not matter. The point is to do that action. It is a spiritual practice because it is a conscious action that you are doing. I am asking you to be mindful about it. But I also... One, you are your own best test subject because you get immediate feedback right there. But you also deserve your own love. You deserve your own kindness. You deserve your own compassion. I firmly believe this. Especially if we are in the midst of a change. I mean, we just changed years, and a lot of us do, that new year, new you thing. I don't do that, but I don't believe in New Year's resolutions. I'm sure you've already heard me say that. But if you are going to make changes in your life, doing it lovingly, doing it kindly, doing it compassionately is the best way to do it. Anytime you have the opportunity to be loving, kind, and compassionate with yourself, I think you should take it. I recommend it as a spiritual practice, but it's because I want you to create that habit. I want you to create that default setting so that when change happens, when stuff happens, you respond in a loving, kind, and compassionate way, both to yourself and to everybody else involved. When we can be loving, kind, and compassionate, the world works better. And so sometimes it looks like taking a deep breath. We had that as a reading a couple of days ago. Take that deep breath and consider what it is that you want in the situation. And go in that direction. Sometimes it looks like taking a nap. Sometimes it looks like taking a walk. Sometimes it looks like going to the gym. Oftentimes it looks like going to the gym. Sometimes it's, making that decision about what you're going to eat. Or sometimes it's, making that real effort to protect your time. I had that conversation with a friend of mine yesterday. Saturday, I call it Sacred Saturday. I got that from Reverend Patrick and Reverend Norm. It's like, I have to work on Sundays. Therefore, Saturdays are mine. I'm very protective of my time. I use that I call it a catter day. That is the day that I spend with my cats and doing my own thing and resting. All right. That's what loving, kind, and compassionate means. But it also is about making room for joy. So I have a metaphor: eat dessert first. All right. Sometimes I literally mean eat dessert first, but sometimes what I mean is actually all the time what I mean, make room for joy. Make room for, you can be loving, kind, and compassionate and make room for joy because, don't save the good stuff. I think that's what I'm focused on this year. Don't save the good stuff. Use the good china, use the good glasses, drink the good, drinks and eat the good food. And I mean, all things in moderation, I believe that, but don't save the good stuff. Treat yourself like you matter. All right. I might get off onto a rant there. The cat's in the window. And I love it watching the, I don't know if you can see it, the sun sparkle off of his fur. Okay, so that's highly distracting and not so, but that'll get me out of my rant. Okay, all right. So love, kind, compassion. You deserve your own love. You deserve your own kindness. You deserve your own compassion because you are a beloved child of God. All right, that is why I encourage you to practice on yourself. I also believe that it'll make the world a better place. The more loving, kind, and compassionate you are with yourself, the more loving, kind, and compassionate you can be with everybody. It's easy to be that way with people that we love, but people that push our buttons, so practice. Okay. I also encourage you to do something that engage your mind and your body. I say that because I don't want to say exercise. Sometimes I say mindful movement, and sometimes I mean healthy movement. It doesn't have to be exercise. But when you engage your mind and your body, you will feel better. I encourage you to drink plenty of water. Hydration is super important. Your brain works better when you are hydrated. I encourage you to get early in your day, bright light. I got up before the sun did this morning to go to work out, and there was a hair of pink and then it was gone. So, I do encourage that early in your day, bright light. That one is science. The hydration is science. The mindful movement is science. It's all science. You know, it's a circadian rhythm. It's about hormone, resetting those hormones. So you'll have more energy during the day, and, you'll sleep better at night. So early in your day, bright light. And then, in the words of Ernest Holmes, open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you do live in heaven right here, right now. Now, when I say open the windows of your soul, there are multiple ways to do that. That spiritual practice of doing something loving, kind, and compassionate for your soul, that is one of the ways that you open the windows of your soul. One of the things that I suggest is to call a friend and have a good conversation. That opens the windows of your soul. Reading, watching things like this, good music, all of that opens the windows of your soul. Just thought maybe I should be a little more explicit about but you know, Ernest. And as always, you can take Emma's advice. Look for the good and praise it. If that doesn't open your soul, I don't know what will. So, and I know it does. So there, you know. All right. Oh, I started talking really fast right there. I don't know what that's about. So probably because I'm hungry. Most likely. All right. Here's the social media part. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark on the social medias that we are on. I am the Running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. If you want to know what's going on with the center, email info@creativelife.org. That is a constant contact. You get one email a week that tells you everything. And there may be other emails, but you know, there's that constant contact. And the hot links are hot. If you click the links, they will take you either right to the information you want or to the person that can get you the information. So, all right, let go. Thank you. I still haven't clipped his claws. Yeah. So there. Here's where I will encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonder-filled day, a sun day, a sunny day. The storms last night were off the hook. A maybe cleaning up from the weather's day, a get stuff done day, or a rest day if you need that. A good day. A joyfully accepting change day. Okay, or participating in the change day. Mahatma Gandhi says, be the change you want to see in the world. So change. A good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day, because you are enough just as you are. You are a beloved child of God, in whom God is well pleased always and forever. Okay? You are a brilliant light. You are a divine spark. You are a godling, in whom God is well pleased and well represented. All right. That is who you are. Remember that. Even in the midst of the change, that there are things that you can and cannot change. And the good thing is being a beloved child of God is one of those, because it is a state of grace. All right. And the cool thing about grace is it doesn't have to be earned, and it can't be taken away. All right. Okay. Yep. So we will have an amazing service for you here at 11 a.m. Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you, and I'll be back with you at 9 a.m.-ish tomorrow. I know with David and I, we're ishes, but my ishes, well, I'll be on between 9 and 9:30. There's no question. David, on the other hand, around 5 p.m. So take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.